What's going on, nerds? My name is Jesse, and welcome back to Two Guys Review This Movie. We are back again with Justin.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, and we are here to do War for the Planet of the Apes, which came out last weekend, I'm pretty sure, right?
I believe it came in.
Or was it two
Yes, I
weekends
believe it
ago?
did. Yeah, no, it's 2 weekends ago. You're absolutely right. Because it came out that we missed a week. We were short a week on it.
Right, we did Harry Potter last week.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is War for the Planet of the Apes, directed by Matt Reeves, starring the great Andy Serkis and Woody Harrelson. I feel like they're a pretty good combo, really. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they both play their roles really well, and you can really feel the opposition between them as they grow as the movie continues on. And I feel like this is a great climax to the three-part series.
Yeah, I agree. I also think that you don't see too much Woody Harrelson evil. I mean, I think most of the time you see him as a side charismatic character who helps out leads, mostly like in the Hunger Games movies. That's kind of like a Woody Harrelson type character. In this, it's kind of a stark difference. There's nothing funny about him. This is very serious. It's very like Apocalypse Now type character.
I agree, and I think he plays the role so well with how he handles it and how they later grow his role and the depth of it with his backstory in later parts of the film. It really gives you a greater sense of what has happened to make him be this way.
Yeah, he's very, very harsh, and I think the things that he's had to do. We're in spoiler territory, by the way, if you haven't seen the movie. With him having to kill his son, I think that really hardened him as a person.
Yeah, absolutely, and it really, I think that was a big moment for him to where he could have really gone down a different path, and it shows just the two different roads that someone could take and just how much of a difference it makes. Because he absolutely could have turned the other cheek, tried to be there for his son, deal with it, and find a cure. Instead, he tries to, decide the better good of the mankind is to actually kill him.
Yeah, yeah, I love Woody. He's one of my favorite actors going. I think he has a great role in this film. Now to Andy Serkis, the most underrated actor in the history of the world. Why doesn't this guy have an Oscar? I think it's bullshit that the motion capture is not considered acting when it is 100% acting. I think he did a great performance once again, and the mocap in this film especially is just incredible, man. Those look like real deal apes.
Yeah, absolutely, and it just shows how strong of an actor he really is, to where he can continually have these roles that have nothing to do with facial recognition for the most part. What the motion capture really does, but in any way have to do with how he is reacting when he's speaking, and it really shows that he can put so much emotion into it still.
Yeah, crazy good actor. Needs to get an Oscar. Maybe this year they'll finally add a motion capture category and just call it the goddamn Andy Serkis Award because he is incredible. Another great character in the film is Steve Zahn's character. What is his actual ape name?
I don't think it has one. It's just
Bad Ape. Bad Ape. Okay.
Yeah,
I actually really thought he was a great like lightness brought into the film, because this film is pretty dour throughout the film. I mean, it's basically a revenge film more than a war film, even though it's called War for the Planet of the Apes. That really doesn't happen in the film. It's more like war between the humans and Caesar's trying to get revenge.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and I feel like there are a lot of things in this film that really that really caused me to not enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the first two films in the series. I think in my rating scale, I know we didn't really do that this time around, but my rating on it's about a 6 or 7, even a low 6, due to the fact that there's just so many possible plots they could have done, and I feel like they didn't finish any of them.
Yeah, I agree. I think the movie kind of splits into two directions halfway through the film. It looks like it's going one way and it goes a completely different way, which is fine. I don't have a problem with it, but I think the film suffers because of it. And also, like you said, not having a clear direction there, it really hurts the film. For me, it's also a 6. I think it's not as good as the two films, but I think the motion capture and the CGI work alone is worth going to see the film, just because it is really like a sight to see without a doubt. Getting back into Steve Zahn, I think he does really lighten up this film. I like his character a lot, and I think he does bring a good a good couple of laughs in the film when you really could use him.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and I feel like just the nature of that role was really important for this movie. With, you know, you really need that sense of, how do I put this? You need to have something that can keep the slower moments moving, And I think there's two things that do this really well. I think it's Steve Zahn bad ape, and I think it was the music, the actual music they chose, the score. Yes, the score they chose for the film, I think, really helps it. But Steve Zahn's character as well really helps keep those slow moments going because it has a lighter air to it.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think the score is actually really, really good. I think it's underrated. I think the scores in the other two films were also really good. But this one stands out because, like you said, there are some slow moments, and I'm not a huge fan of films that drag, and this film does drag just a little bit, but the score really carries you through some of those moments to give you some more momentum to get you into the next couple of scenes. Getting into the plot a little bit, the title's definitely misleading. There's no war for the Planet of the Apes. There's a war for not killing humans who have the disease. Right.
Yeah, and it's so interesting because, if you watch the original films, you really think it's going to be a big battle, and it never really happens. The apes are already getting towards they're trying to get away. They don't want to fight anymore.
Right.
Koba's gone. Koba was the one that wanted to fight. So there is no need for the apes to fight more. They're fighting for their own safety. And with the humans on the brink of extinction, they shouldn't really be fighting because of the fact that they can't really afford to anymore. And
well, the only reason that Woody's guys are fighting is because they think that, or I think the disease actually comes from the apes, and they're thinking if they kill the apes, then maybe you get rid of the disease.
Yeah, I definitely think the disease. I believe they speak out a little bit. I think it does come from the apes. I think it's this. Woody Colonel is the same. It says that it's the same thing that made them smarter. It's making them dumber.
Right, the simian disease or something like that.
Yeah, the
simian flu. That's what it is.
Well, the simian flu is what killed everyone off in the second film.
Oh, okay.
It's an adaptation of the simian flu.
Yeah, I was a little confused on that. I didn't see the second film myself, so I definitely was a little lost on that, but I understand not taking time to explain that if it was explained in the second film. But like I said, just the halfway point, when we get to the halfway through the film, right? Caesar's about to go on by himself. The rest of the apes are going to go hide somewhere that his son had found. And it looks like he's going to go solo, but then like his three best buddies go with him, and everybody else leaves. Okay, so from there on, you're thinking this is a revenge movie. He's going to hunt down Woody. Okay, we go to hunt down Woody. We find the bad ape guy. Okay, he's really funny. We find Woody's camp, and then all the apes are there. And then, okay, well, now we're going to do a little rise up, break out, and fight the humans, right? No, we don't. We dig our way out, and the other humans fight each other.
Yeah, and I think the major thing that you're trying to get at here is that there's so many things that you just kind of naturally expect to happen that just don't happen the way they should. The progression of the film is really not the greatest in this sense because of the fact that you really see some points where they could clearly go one way and they don't.
Yeah, a couple of things that kind of bothered me with the film was the donkey stuff, having the apes that are like, what are they? They're basically slaves, right?
Yeah, it felt very racist, really, when I was watching.
Yeah,
it.
I mean,
the way they used those derogatory terms, it didn't feel right.
Yeah, some about that just irked me altogether. Not a fan. And then not having much like, what is the word? I guess closure. Like, yeah, he saves Caesar at the very end, but you think there would be a little more redemption with all of the donkeys. Like, how are you letting these guys treat you like this? I mean, Caesar's talking to the one donkey over and over again throughout the whole film. You're letting this guy call you a donkey. You're letting him be your slave, and he's like, "It's worth it. I saved myself." Like, there's nothing left for you to save. I thought that was a really good line in the film.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and I feel like it's really important to note there that, they could have gone the extra step if they really wanted to. They could have made it so that, the gorilla turns and kills the guy that kept calling him donkey. They had a key opportunity, and they don't take advantage of it. And I feel like it wouldn't have affected the plot as much, but it would have given a little bit more closure to a lot of all the open-ended storylines that they had in that film. You didn't have the ape turn until the very end, and then he immediately dies. He doesn't even get any closure to it.
Yeah, I agree. To play devil's advocate in that scene, I would just say that maybe he had one chance to either save Caesar or kill the guard, and he chose to save Caesar, which is cool, but man, you could have dedicated. He could have killed him earlier. Like, he had plenty of time. Like, I just felt like you could have had some redemption there with the donkey characters, because there's multiple donkey apes, right?
Yeah, and I definitely agree. And it just goes back to how many open-ended storylines that they're going to leave. I mean,
Yeah.
you have Nova. You know, you don't really have any closure for Nova. You know, she thinks she's becoming an ape. Is she becoming an ape? Is she going to get some sense of human form and her intellect back? You know, she's starting to learn sign language.
Yeah.
Is she just going to continue her life as an ape? We don't find out any of that. We get the donkeys. We don't get any closure for them. We don't find out what's going to happen to Lake now. The fact that Caesar's son is dead. Lake was she was the love interest for him. I believe his name was Cornelius.
No, that's his other son.
Yeah, Luca?
No, Rocket, maybe?
No, Rocket's his best friend. I can't think of his name.
We'll never remember. Put it down in the comments, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. To go back a little bit, the Nova character, I thought she was pretty interesting.
I definitely agree. And
I thought the actress was pretty good as well.
Yeah, she plays it really well.
There's not much given to her. I mean, I feel like Matt Reeves could have did more here, just because there's so many open ends, like you said, and also there's stuff you could have went to, but you didn't go to because you want to get to this end fight between Woody and the other humans, right? And then to have Woody die to the disease that his son died to, I thought that was kind of. I actually wanted to see Caesar either kill Woody or not kill Woody, not because Woody got the disease.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and I felt like the closure there was really important, but I feel like it could have been handled in a better way, where you have Colonel sitting there begging Caesar to kill him, and Caesar doesn't. Caesar takes the high road, decides he's not going to be Koba any longer. He knows that he's turned into Koba, but he's not going to continue to do that. He's going to turn away. And then
to me, before you go on, to me, he doesn't kill him because that's what Woody wants. What I'm reading into that scene is there's no revenge there because Woody wants to die because he thinks everybody who has this disease should die, himself no exception.
That's a fair way to look at it. I can take that.
So when you see that, and I think especially the way Andy Serkis plays it with his emotions on Caesar's face, you see that he is no longer Woody. He is now a victim of the disease, the simian flu disease or whatever, and he wants to die because he killed his son for the same reason. He killed all those other men for the same reason, and there's no revenge to be had there anymore.
Yeah, I can get that then. That makes a lot more sense to me. I didn't really think about it that way.
Yeah, so to me, that ending is not very satisfying.
No, I definitely agree. It's one of those moments where you really had a good opportunity and you just don't take advantage of it. And that's just a common theme you have in the film.
Yeah, I agree. I think redemption is a common theme that they missed. I think you could have had redemption throughout this film. You could have redeemed Woody by letting the girl live. You could have redeemed Caesar by letting Woody live. You could have redeemed the donkeys by turning on their slave owners, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many ways this could have turned out.
But there's no redemption in this film.
Yeah.
Caesar to me is not redeemed. He only let him live because the revenge is gone because he wants to kill himself.
Yeah, I definitely agree there.
Yeah, so all the redemption you could have had in the film is not there.
And it ends up turning into this whole thing where everyone is kind of ending sad. No one has happy ending besides the actual apes. Caesar gets the happy ending because of the fact that he gets to see his people get away clean. But that's about it. You don't really see any of the finished storylines you wanted to see.
I have something to say about the Caesar death scene as well. I thought Caesar was going to die 3 times before he died. And then when he did die at the very end, I was kind of upset because I'm waiting for him to die. He makes it. Waiting for him to die again. He makes it. Waiting for him to die again. He makes it again. Okay, so 3 times he survived. Okay, Caesar's making it in my mind. And then we get to salvation and Caesar dies.
I'm kind of curious as to when you thought he was going to die.
Okay, so the first time I thought he was going to die is when the donkey saves him. He was dead there. Mm-hmm. But the donkey saved him. Second time he gets out from underneath the tunnel, he's getting shot at from up top and by the humans.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and the third time the humans win. They point the guns at him, but then the avalanche happens. Fourth time, could have died to the avalanche. Could have died to the avalanche. Didn't. Okay, so I'm like, oh fuck it, Caesar's gonna make it. He just survived 4 times. Right? In my mind, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, this is the third film. Maybe Caesar's going to make it. And then we get to Salvation, and he dies. And I was just kind of bummed about that.
Well, I think we all kind of knew that he was going to die once.
Me too.
Once Preacher shoots him. Which, can we speak about Preacher?
Oh, yeah, let's talk about Preacher. Hey, guys, we're back. We had a little technical difficulty there, but we're ready. Okay, we're talking about, what's his face's name again?
Preacher. Yes, we're talking about Preacher. And Preacher just had a really big opportunity to be a bigger role in this film. I mean, you talk about him almost dying in the very beginning, and Caesar lets him live to send a message to the Colonel. Yeah, he spares him. Yep. So he can send a message to the Colonel that this war can be over right now. We will not retaliate anymore if you just leave us be. Leave us the woods, and we will leave you be. And
we are not.
You have, yes, and you let Preacher come back into this film, and he's in a bunch of scenes. Like, he gets a lot of actual film time where he's there, taking Caesar in between the cages, they're taking care of everything. And then at the end of the day, you don't let him. I know you called a movie trope, but I feel like it was really needed here with how much movie time they gave him to end up turning on the Colonel, and he never does. He ends up dying. Yeah, and I feel like it was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I agree 100% about the Preacher character. I think he's missed. I think it's just a lot of characters here in this film that missed out on great redemptions. There's so many redemption here. There's such a great theme here to be had, but it's just not had whatsoever. I think that's going to be it for us on War for the Planet of the Apes. 6 out of 10 for both of us. So not huge fans. Any last thoughts for you, Justin?
In terms of a movie, I think it held its own, and I was really happy with the visual effects. I think what was the biggest takeaway from this for me is that we got great visual effects and great motion capture going in the Dark Tower, which will come out this upcoming week. Time this.
Yeah. And then once again, sorry for the late upload, guys. We try to upload these every Tuesday. We're going to keep on schedule, but my power went out on Tuesday, so sorry for that. If you're liking these, please let us know. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, and catch us on the flip side. Later.